Please read our trading disclaimer. Thank you. We know our four keys and what we expect from them. We will talk about trade allocation. Going to choose 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 my time. That's 1 hour. Noting the trade allocations that take place during that 1 hour. Would really like to think that this is a trading community that you are building. JB, I think, will be gratefully for us all back reasonably soon. I believe that JB is starting to recover. I like his work on planning in advance, where you would take action, Charlie's action, if you wish, the keys, JB, part of the anticipation. So I think JB and Charlie are making a contribution, a contribution to your trading, and perhaps we are building a trading community, which is what I would like. And maybe I should just once a week do, like on every Monday, a insider's review like I'm doing now, or maybe twice a week. We'll see. My contribution, I believe, is to our trading community is the four keys, and anticipating them, whether an old crest or valley or something, but anticipating them, the setups, the little things that start to happen to indicate that the four keys are showing that buyers and sellers are going to change price direction. You know, these little wicks flying around over there, and the bars getting smaller, and anticipating the red one. This is a 6-10-3 bar, I believe. Therefore, we'll take a look at it, the 151 in this area. In other words, on the 6-10-3, you can see it may be a very old crest or valley or something, but it is potentially a situation that, sellers are coming in. And perhaps on the 151, to get in here rather than on close here, there's a possibility. We'll take a look at that. Maybe I'll do that right now. There, let's see if this shows it fairly well. The top of the yellow, yeah, this is starting right, and there's the band. There's the 6-10-3 energy band. This is, the yellow from there to there. The 151 FloBar is you see on them. Look at this on the way up, and all of a sudden, you are getting anticipation, sort of, in yellow on the 151. You might be anticipating this sale, you'll have wicks and things are getting smaller, and it could be something, an overlay on this chart. It could be an old crest or something, double top. Trade allocation is possible. If so, you could, just could, at least I would, see if I could get short in yellow. One of the keys. If sellers come in to 610.3's yellow, and if they're still selling, the second key is going to be unlocked, price direction. And if the sellers are still doing their thing, then the third and fourth key will be activated, unlock the door direction. Why I use the word keys, I've got no idea, but I think it's sort of like opening the door to a new direction, price direction. It shows whether the buyers or sellers are in control. Well, if the sellers are in control in the yellow, and once I finish this illustration, we're going to be taking a look at the yellows on the 610.3 FloBar chart and show you that if you keep in mind, you could just teach your brain to trade the 610.3 yellows, which is what I'm going to be discussing. Well, at the moment I'm discussing getting short if there's sellers in one of the keys, the key being yellow. I think yellow, to me, I think it's the first key, quite frankly. Because if sellers are in yellow, well, then they are in yellow. There's, that's the way it is, the way life is. Well, then key number 2 and then 3 or 4 will be activated. But we're talking about yellow here. Now that's the area from here to here. Now on this 151 FloBar chart, what do you see? Right there on the 151 chart. Question: do you see any keys unlocking to the downside for the sellers? Just think about it. Look at it. Look. Sellers for its yellow. Here. Not here or here or here. Here. If the sellers are in control on the 151, no matter what the buyers do, they are unlocking their own little tiny little keys on the 151. But you notice what is happening here. We have anticipation. We have the keys unlocking. The third phenomenon is the expectation, which I believe happens here, in that you expect, maybe get on your knees, but that the opposing yellow will not find buyers in this case. All right, take that over to here on the 151. You have the expectation that lower yellow will find sellers in it. Darn, there isn't. Okay. You can go long if you so wish. It might be a good idea. I would. Or I can say to myself, as buyers come into this, guess what I would say to myself? Presuming I'm nicely short here, presuming because of all this that 610.3's yellow is a sale.
Connection lost.
If it is, then the buyers here are going to be sadly disappointed because their expectation of the upper yellow being bought up through is not going to happen. First of all, the 4 keys are not unlocked to the upside. Only 2 are. The 3rd and 4th do not happen here. Therefore, think of it. Think of it. The yellow, with the buyers in control, we'll see on the 151, no buyers coming up through the upper, the upper yellow key. Okay? So now I'm going to look at the 610-3 chart all by itself, try to get the message across to you about being an incredibly successful trader by keeping in mind only the yellow key from the 610-3. Okay. Just think of it. If you can trade the 610-3 yellows, the first key, by observing how the 151 behaves in that key, however, from the 610-3, you will know at all times whether the sellers or buyers are in control of that 610-3 key. And when you keep in mind, you could say the 3 steps. Maybe I should document this or something. Maybe I should be doing something every Monday or once a week. But the 3 steps, let's say, anticipation, the keys, the anticipation could be the setup. We could say, well, setup, keys, but expectation is very important. As you take the sale in this upper yellow, the setup, the anticipation, whatever, the keys start to unlock or be activated on the 151, as we've just illustrated. Then the expectation that for the rest of your life, price is just going to go down, 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 which means you're going to go down through the lower yellow. And you know that as it does that the sellers are in control, and you can tell that on the 151 by what's happening to their keys. You will not see buying keys in the lower yellow on the 610-3. Or if you did, you would, as we trying to explain, the expectation would not be there for the 151 upper yellow to have buyers move on that through. No, would be selling keys on the 151 would be occurring in this lower yellow. I'm not going to waste movie footage to illustrate that. That's what you should be doing at home, is to get to know the 610-3 yellows. It could be the hourly yellows. It could be the 5-minute yellows using a 5-second as your second chart. But we're talking here of the 610-3 and observing the buyers and sellers on the 151. And its keys tell you whether the buyers or sellers are in control. But you're thinking at all times, let's say, and if you do, you are going to be incredibly successful and help us build a trading community of successful traders. Now, if you do think of that, what would you think as you saw, anticipation. Keys are starting to be unlocked. Third and fourth key? Nope. What would the 151 be doing at this yellow line? Because when you trade the yellows, you are also trading its midline. Be that as it may, what do you think is happening down here on the 610-3 in terms of anticipation at this price level? Any wicks? Any small bricks? Loss of dot momentum, as JB is teaching you? Okay? So something's going on. So you are anticipating that yellow will be up. Okay. Expectation up through upper yellow. Does it occur? Yes, it does at this point. But in this bar, something's going on. You are beginning to see the anticipation of the four keys being unlocked to reveal sellers coming in, which means, since you're a yellow person like me, that the yellow key will find sellers in control. Yellow key will find buyers in control. Anticipation, expectation, yes, lower yellow down. But just as up in here, or here, or here, something's going on. The anticipation, the setup seems to be occurring for this yellow key to find buyers in it. And watch your 151. So, setup, anticipation, keys, unlocking, yes. Expectation, it occurs. Perfect. This will be a 20-minute movie. But you see where I'm going? You see where I'm going on this? Setup. Anticipation. Keys unlocked. Nope. Why? Yellow key not down. Anticipation setup. Keys. Good. You're 151. And expectation. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Here we are. Anticipation, something's going on. Seems to be a setup for the keys to be activated. Are they? A couple are. What happens at its midline? Watch your 151. Expectation, up through upper yellow. Well, just the look at this thing sort of negates any expectation that we're going to find buyers going up through upper yellow. Does that make sense? This is yesterday, I believe. Now we'll get into chop chop. So what happens in chop chop? Just think of it. Yellow to yellow, yellow to yellow, back and forth, 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 all forever and ever, till you stop breathing. However, you can now trade chop chop by observing the 151 in the 610-3's yellows as sort of chop each other's head off. What are you going to do? Give you something to do, doesn't it? You know who I'm addressing that one to. But if a yellow buyer, if a yellow is not, what do I say? If you're, okay, setup, anticipation, keys start to be unlocked. Sorry, 3 and 4 not unlocked from here, revealing that you're not getting expectation. So if you're buying this, okay, you are buying the yellow key. 151 tells you to do it. Keys unlocked. Okay. Expectation. That's so wonderful. Because in each of these, you are anticipating here you're anticipating the lower yellow to be sold down through. Well, it doesn't happen. So you got the keys unlocking for buy. So you're anticipating or expecting the upper yellow to be bought up through. It doesn't happen. So you got to go short. Well, you go long, go with the buyers. Expectation. The setup. I think we should call it setup instead of anticipation. But the setup starts with okay, unlocking the keys. Third step. We just go through upper yellow. Okay, end of movie. Thank you for listening. But I want to tell you one thing. When I was a little child, I can still see myself sitting on my grandfather's knee. He asked me to go there and lifted me up, and I can still, he had his pipe and the red cardigan with a sweater on, and I can still see him looking. He had a hand around my left shoulder. I said, yes, Cappy, whatever. He said, I want to tell you something. Bad things are going to happen to you in your life. They're going to seem to be awful, but I want to tell you something. Everything happens for the best. I can still see my grandfather telling me that. And what love that was given to me by my grandfather. But he told me that. So J.B.'s illness and the medications that he had to take to get rid of that hammered him, but it happened for the best. I was forced to take over. Now, I'm sure, especially around here, the universe wants to get rid of me. So if something happens to me, it happens for the best. Okay? But it's going to be happening for the best when JB comes back. And it would happen for the best if indeed we are building a trading community.